In this month's training minutes, we'll be talking about advancing the hose line into the building. First, on arrival of the engine company, they need to size up the structure to determine the proper amount and lengths of hose they're going to need to make it into the building to successfully make it to the seat of the fire. The rule of thumb is always to have one 50-foot length of hose line in the actual room that's on fire as your working length. Firefighters, as they get off the apparatus, will have to do this mental size up and quick math. The next thing firefighters will have to determine is whether or not to grab a smoothbore nozzle or a fog nozzle. I will leave this up to each individual department and their standard operating procedures. As firefighters are crawling into the building, they want to be checking the conditions around them, looking overhead for any fire that may be traveling over their head. They want to be searching in front of them for any lost or hidden victims that might not have yet been found. And they want to check the conditions that they're crawling over to make sure they do not crawl over any openings in the floor or fall through the floor. They want to keep the nozzle at least 18 inches in front of them so that it's out for reach and use. The backup person wants to be no more than 3 feet behind the nozzle person, and the third person should be staggered about 10 feet behind the backup person. This is to ensure that the line makes it successfully and quickly to the seat of the fire. At any bends or turns, you'll need to stretch the line around it and make sure it does not get pinched or kinked. Once the line is charged, it also must be ensured that you do not have any kinks between the apparatus, the engine, and the actual nozzle. Any kink in the line will drastically reduce the amount of water that will come out of that nozzle. Firefighters will then stretch the line dry as far as possible and as safe as possible, getting them as close to the seat of the fire, but not putting themselves in jeopardy or allowing themselves to be caught off guard or overrun by fire. Firefighters will then check the door for heat, verify that they have a fire, operate on the safe side of the door. They will next have the line charged. Once they have the line charged, they will bleed the line out of air and make sure they have an adequate flow of water. And then open the door, or if necessary, force open the door to make their way in to actually hit the seat of the fire. I'm Joe Berchtold, and this has been another Training Minutes.